why your burnout is a business strategy, and softness is the revolution. Welcome to the Soft Girl Era podcast, where we unlearn survival, rediscover softness, and reclaim the joy, rest, and freedom we deserve without guilt, without apology, and without explanation. I'm your host, LeAnne Dolce, pronounced Dolce, like sweet softness whispered in French, and I'm your guide from burnout to boundaries, from doing to being, from strong to soft and loving every second of it. Today, I had the extraordinary opportunity to sit down with Tanesha Ratchford, a visionary leader who is redefining what success looks like for Black women entrepreneurs and professionals. Tanisha's work is not just important, it is revolutionary. She is dismantling the toxic narratives that have kept Black women grinding themselves into the ground, and she is replacing them with something far more powerful: rest as resistance, boundaries as business infrastructure, and softness as the ultimate strategic advantage. What she is building is nothing short of a movement that is changing lives, reshaping industries, and making the world a place where Black women can finally breathe. The insights she shared with me are nothing short of life changing. And so I want to take you on a journey through what I learned from Tanesha Ratchford, because what she's teaching us has the power to shift how we build businesses, how we lead, and how we live. Let me start with a question that I need you to sit with for a moment. How many of us have been taught that Black success has to be rooted in grind, struggle, and constant sacrifice to be legitimate? That to prove we belong, we have to outwork everyone, carry everything, and show up twice as hard before we deserve ease? That rest is something we earn after we make it, not something we build into the foundation of how we work. How many of us have internalized the belief that if we are not exhausted, we're not working hard enough? That if we ask for help, we are weak? That if we set boundaries, we are ungrateful? Tanesha Ratchford challenges that narrative head on. And here's what she wants us to understand: softness, rest, and emotional wellness are not rewards you get after you succeed. They are powerful business strategies that create longevity, revenue growth, and generational impact. When we treat rest as optional, when we see boundaries as weakness, when we refuse to ask for help because we think it makes us less capable, we are not protecting our businesses. We are putting them at risk. Let me say that again because I need you to hear this. Burnout is not a personal failing, it is a business risk. And when we build softness, rest, and support into our work from the beginning, we protect our decision making, our creativity, and our leadership capacity. Those are the exact things that drive revenue and impact. You cannot scale a business on fumes. You cannot lead with clarity when you are running on empty. And you cannot make sound financial decisions when you are exhausted, overwhelmed, and emotionally depleted. Tanesha Ratchford shared three key insights with me, and I want to walk you through each one because they are practical, they are liberating, and they are grounded in real data and real stories that will shake you to your core. The first insight is this: softness is a scalable business strategy, not a luxury. When you build in rest, emotional wellness, and boundaries, you are not being indulgent. You are being strategic. You are treating your energy like the critical asset it is. Because here's the truth: your energy is not infinite, your capacity is not limitless, and pretending otherwise is not strength, it is self destruction. Tanesha Ratchford works with Black women who have turned layoffs, crises, and moments of deep uncertainty into thriving businesses. And what she has learned over decades of guiding these women is that the ones who build sustainably are the ones who refuse to equate sacrifice with worth. They know their numbers, they build systems, they ask for help, and they protect their peace like it is a line item in their budget. Because it is. They understand that rest is not a reward for productivity. Rest is what makes productivity possible. Boundaries are not barriers to success. Boundaries are what makes success sustainable. And emotional wellness is not a luxury for people who have already made it. Emotional wellness is what allows you to make it in the first place. The second insight Tanesha Ratchford shared is that systems and support are how you build legacy, not just survival. Let me tell you about Dr. Rosie Thomas, a Black financial expert who has spent over 20 years helping Black women entrepreneurs turn moments of crisis into legacy building enterprises. Dr. Rosie works with women who have lost jobs, often after long careers in corporate or public sector roles. They come to her feeling urgent, feeling scared, feeling like they need to replace their income immediately. And what Dr. Rosie tells them is this: let urgency push you, but don't let it rush you. She teaches them to slow down enough to understand their numbers first, to strengthen their credit, to document their financial foundations. And then she teaches them to build three core systems from day one: a client onboarding system, an invoicing and cash flow management system, and a marketing pipeline. Because without those systems, you don't have a business. You have chaos with a logo. You have a hustle that will burn you out in 6 months. You have a job you created for yourself that is just as exhausting as the one you left. And here's what happens when these women follow Dr. Rosie's guidance: they move from short term, survival based hustles to structured businesses with repeatable processes and reliable revenue. They become more fundable, better prepared to approach lenders and investors because they can clearly articulate their numbers and their systems. Their businesses transition from fragile to durable, capable of growth, hiring, and long term wealth building, not just replacing a paycheck. They stop living paycheck to paycheck as business owners and start building something that can outlive them, something that can employ others, something that can change their family's financial trajectory for generations. Dr. Rosie also directs these women to community development financial institutions, CDFIs, and other mission driven lenders that are designed to support underserved entrepreneurs. Because community support, trusted circles, mentors, networks, and ecosystem partners are not extra. They are part of your financial and strategic infrastructure. Asking for help is not evidence of weakness, it is evidence of wisdom. It is evidence that you understand that no empire was ever built alone. It is evidence that you are serious about building something that lasts. The third insight Tanesha Ratchford shared is this: you can build on your own terms and still grow intentionally, not frantically. And the data backs this up in a way that should make every single one of us sit up and pay attention. Between 2019 and 2024, Black women owned businesses generated $390 billion in revenue. Let me say that again, because I need you to feel the weight of that number: $390 billion. And Black women showed the fastest growth rate among all women owned business demographics. From 2019 to 2024, revenue for Black women owned employer firms increased 34.2%. Overall, Black women owned businesses increased revenue 102.8%. Between 2024 and 2025, Black women owned businesses grew 13%, compared to 4.4% for women owned businesses overall. There are now an estimated 2.02 million Black women owned businesses, and Black women accounted for 42% of all net new women owned businesses in a recent period, despite being only 14% of the female population. This is not a small story. This is an economic revolution, and it is being built by women who are consultants, tech founders, service providers, creatives, women who are bringing corporate skill sets into coaching, wellness, and community centered businesses, women who are leaning into culturally competent services, niche expertise, and positioning their identity and their softness as unique value in the marketplace. But here's what Tanesha Ratchford wants us to understand: many of these businesses were born from crisis moments: layoffs, discrimination in traditional workplaces, ceilinged career trajectories, moments where Black women were told, implicitly or explicitly, that they did not belong. that they were not enough, that they would never advance no matter how hard they worked. And in response, Black women turned to entrepreneurship to reclaim agency. But over time, the narrative has shifted. It is no longer just about side hustles for survival. It is about ecosystem building. It is about business owners investing in community, mentorship, and systems for scaling. It is about refusing to equate grind with legitimacy. It is about saying, I can build wealth and still sleep at night. I can grow my business and still take vacations. I can lead powerfully and still ask for support. And that brings me to a story that captures everything Tanesha Ratchford is teaching us. It is the story of Martine and Alexandria, a Black mother daughter duo who are creating a wellness farm in North Carolina, specifically catering to Black women. Their venture centers rest, healing, and safe community as the core offering. They are making softness and wellness not just a personal goal, but the business model. Think about that for a moment. They are building a business where rest is the product, where Black women can come and exhale, where healing is not something you do on the side, it is the entire point. Launching a wellness farm requires substantial planning, capital, and vision clarity, especially in a niche market and during times of economic uncertainty. And as Black women, Martine and Alexandria navigate the usual barriers of underfunding, skepticism, and the emotional weight of building something that doesn't fit traditional productivity first narratives. They also have to manage their own fears: fear of failure, fear of visibility, fear of stepping away from more conventional, secure career paths. But here's what they did. Alexandria said, just start. Do it scared. Begin even when fear is present, trusting that intentional building is less risky than staying stuck in misaligned situations. Martine advised gathering a small circle, 3 to 5 people, who genuinely want to see you win, who will hold you accountable and ask hard questions. That community forms an emotional and strategic backbone. They focused on clarity, then broke the big dream into smaller actions, reducing overwhelm and making progress feel sustainable. And Martine stressed releasing attachment to a single definition of success, staying open to how the path may diverge from the original map. They are on track to open a wellness farm that explicitly prioritizes Black women's rest and healing, expanding what entrepreneurship can look like for Black professionals. Their messaging encourages other Black women to see softness and wellness as worthy business focal points, not just side interests or retreats they attend. By modeling vulnerability, do it scared, and community based building, they demonstrate that courage and softness can coexist. This is what Tanesha Ratchford is teaching us. That softness is not a personality trait, it is a strategic advantage. That when we normalize rest, boundaries, and community support as core business infrastructure, we unlock sustainable success for Black professionals and entrepreneurs. That support networks, community ecosystems, and asking for help are assets, not evidence of weakness. That emotional wellness and boundaries are non negotiable business systems, just as essential as your invoicing or marketing pipeline. And that redefining strong Black professional means being resourced, rested, and supported, not just being endlessly resilient. So here's where I want to leave you today, not with a gentle suggestion, but with a challenge that demands you look yourself in the mirror and ask the hard question. If softness, rest, and support were non negotiable parts of your business or career, not rewards for later, what would you do differently starting right now? Not next month, not after you finish this project, not when things slow down, because we both know things never slow down unless you make them slow down. Right now, today, this week, I want you to choose one area: your schedule, your boundaries, your systems, or your support network. And I want you to make a single intentional change that protects your energy and strengthens your business. Block one weekly CEO hour for strategic thinking and rest from reactive work. Document one simple system how clients come in, are served, and pay you so your brain is not carrying everything. Reach out to one potential mentor, accountability partner, or supportive peer and ask for a monthly check in. Build one soft, sustainable practice into your professional life this month and treat it as seriously as you treat revenue goals. Because here's what Tanesha Ratchford taught me, and what I need you to hear with every fiber of your being. Black women are already building at scale. We are powering a $390 billion economy. We are creating jobs, reshaping industries, and modeling new definitions of leadership. The next level is not grinding harder, it is building with intention, knowing your numbers, designing work that honors your humanity, and refusing to equate sacrifice with worth. Softness is not weakness, it is wisdom. Rest is not a reward, it is a requirement. And community is not optional, it is infrastructure. The revolution is not louder, it is softer, it is quieter. It is you finally choosing yourself. It is you building a business that does not destroy you. It is you leading in a way that makes space for others to breathe too. That is the legacy. That is the impact. That is the work. Now go build it.